Well, of course, you know what we have to talk about, right? Everybody's been waiting for this all week, and uh, this is what they did.
First count of the information, Joseph Rosenbaum. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdict?
Now, I'm going to tell you, I got emotional seeing that, and I was watching it with my wife, and my wife doesn't pay attention to politics. She doesn't pay attention to none of this stuff. And she saw the kid when they were reading the verdict, and she's like, you could tell when you look at some of these people, you could tell when someone is a bad person. And you could see from this kid, he's not. It broke my heart to see him break down like that. Even though when he broke down when he was giving his testimony, but it's his life's not. He's now a famous figure. He doesn't get to walk away from this trial, and just be a regular person anymore. Let's say, for example, it came out in trial, he wanted to be a cop or a firefighter. Maybe he could still be a firefighter, but there's no way he could be a cop. No way. Even a firefighter is probably not going to happen. There's too much stigma with him. And hopefully one of the things that can happen is hopefully I'm hoping they could bring defamation suits against the media for this, because the media was an abject failure when it came to this case. The stuff that they reported, if you were watching MSNBC, and only MSNBC, you're probably so pissed off right now thinking that this kid was guilty. If all you were watching was MSNBC, they never gave you anything of what was going on with the defense. So you have no idea that the stuff that went on. You have no idea what the prosecutors, speaking of this trial with the prosecutors, those prosecutors, they need to be reprimanded. They need to have some sort of, reprimand in their file. They need to be charged with something, because what they did, their prosecutical misconduct was abhorrent. It was to do what they did just to get a guilty verdict was disgusting. From questioning his Kyle Rittenhouse's right to remain silent, trying to get in testimony that the judge already ruled against, trying to get put in testimony from stuff that happened after the day in question, trying to when he made bail, and he was out on bail, he was they were celebrating his release, and they wanted to put that into evidence. For what? That doesn't play into what happened that day. So those prosecutors, they really need, because if they get away with it, that means in the future, someone else could do it. There's prosecutors that go, look in the Rittenhouse case. That was this was a big, high-profile case. Excuse me. And they were able to get away with it. Why? Let's say if they're doing a smaller case, who's to say, you get a public defender that they could go, well, you know what? They got away with it in the big case. We should be able to get away with it in the small case, just to get convictions. that's, to me, that at the bare minimum that needs to be done to those people. Um, and like I said, the news media, their coverage of this case. I mean, even my wife, I was talking with my wife. We went to go have brunch, and we were coming back from brunch, and she was like, well, the way the media makes it seem, it's like he shot two black people. And it was like, no. And I told her, it's funny that you say that, because I was trying to tell her about a tweet I saw about someone saying that they thought that before the watching the trial, they thought that Kyle has shot two black people. But no, that's not what happened. So if you're watching MSNBC, you probably still thought there was black people that got shot. But that's the whole problem with the media. The media had their agenda. Instead of reporting what happened in the day in trial, they gave you their opinion. You had disgusting people like Joy Reid talking about making fun of Kyle's crying on the stand, comparing it to Brett Kavanaugh, and saying, "Oh, people ignored Josie Blasey Ford, that's her name, and ignoring her tears, and seeing the man's tears, and all this blatant racism coming out of her mouth." It's just disgusting that someone like that is allowed on TV, because she she just spews hate, and is gross. That's why things are, race relations in this country are going backwards. You got people like her. You have people like was it Eric Michael Dyson? They're talking about white supremacy and the black face, white ideas coming out of the mouth. That's the circular logic that comes out of these people. That's, if this trial will show you anything, you can see the nonsense that goes on. If you're ideologically on the right side with them, they will defend you regardless. It's a circular logic when it comes to these people. If you agree with them, and then cool, you're against white supremacy. But if you disagree with them, you're bad, because you're for white supremacy. I had someone call me a white supremacist. I'm Puerto Rican. My name is on, it's like I'm Carlos. I have my name is not an Anglo name. It's not a white name. It's a Spanish name. And called me a white supremacist because I disagreed with his idea. And that's the whole thing. These people, it's like, if there's no logic to their when it comes to this whole white supremacy stuff. There's no logic behind it. You cannot argue with them. Once they believe that, they're sold. They're true believers. You can't, it's a religion. It's their faith. You cannot attack their faith, because you attack their faith, you're white supremacist. That's the sad thing, is most of these people that believe that stuff, and when you try to be logical with them with what's going on, you're attacking their faith. They won't listen. So, that's what's going on with the media. You saw the media coverage with this stuff, and it's, it's gross. I don't know what more to say. These, that's what's dividing our country. When you see the division in this case, all you have to do is see the video. There was no reason this should have been brought to trial. You were able to see there was video evidence of what happened, and even with that, the prosecution tried to doctor video evidence. It's unconscionable that these people would do that. It's like, they're supposed to be trying to find justice, not a conviction. If you're pushing to get a conviction instead of finding justice, then I suggest maybe you go into a different line of work, because this is not the work for you. You know, I've been paying attention to this case from the beginning. I'm happy for this kid and his family, and I hope he takes Nicholas Sandman's advice, from the Covington kid, and sues whoever he could sue, because they need a reckoning. They need a reckoning. They need to stop reporting their opinion as news. They're no different than what I do on here. They're just spouting their opinion and pretending that it's news. The difference between them and I is, at least I'll go, I know my bias. That, you know, that if that doesn't give away my bias right there, you know, I don't know what will. I am a right-leaning Puerto Rican. That's my bias. It's there. I own it. I don't pretend otherwise. But you have people, MSNBC, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, they pretend to be objective when they're not. You know, key anchors on all these networks worked for the Democratic Party one way or another, or have relatives that are prominent figures. Well, not anymore, because Chris Cuomo, is his brother Andrew, is not governor anymore and will never be. So what can I tell you? Be happy, pray for this kid, because he's going to need it. His life has been forever changed. I heard he's, you know, there's come out in testimony that he's going through therapy. His mother talked about it, because it's not natural to kill somebody. It's not. That's what, you know, it's what made people, it drives people crazy. It makes them mentally, you know, they have to, that's why they have to get therapy for something like that. Even though he was protecting his life, it's still traumatic to kill somebody, because it's not natural for us to do that. So, you know, hopefully, like I said, hopefully he gets to sue, and because he's not going to have a normal life, and at least that way he could get out of the limelight and get his money and live his life. I'll leave it there. I hope you enjoy my videos. Please like and subscribe. I'm the Right Rican. I do a video every day. You could, I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Same thing with Rumble, and vice versa. If you're on the other and you do both platforms, please subscribe to me on both. You can also interact with me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, all of those, all the social media sites. So it's a Friday, and at least the kid gets to celebrate on a Friday. 18 years old, and he gets to walk. He gets to be a free man. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. Have a great weekend.